Stop saving people if you want respect. That sentence feels wrong on purpose. Because you were trained to believe the opposite. You were taught that helping, fixing, rescuing makes you valuable. It doesn't. It makes you useful. And useful people are rarely respected. Here is the law most people never learn until it's too late. The one who saves you owns less power than the one who lets you struggle. Power does not come from lifting people up. Power comes from being the standard they must rise to. When you save someone, you send a silent message. You are weaker. I am responsible for you. And the human brain does something dangerous with that message. It rearranges the hierarchy. The person you help doesn't feel gratitude for long. They feel relief. Then dependence. Then discomfort. And finally, resentment. Because deep down, being saved reminds them of what they couldn't do alone. This law controls people because it attacks the ego at its core. Every adult wants to believe they are capable. Autonomous. Self-made. When you step in too quickly, you steal their struggle. You steal the moment where they prove something to themselves. And the mind hates whoever takes that away. So instead of seeing you as strong, they see you as a reminder of their weakness. And humans don't respect reminders of weakness. They avoid them. They diminish them. They eventually turn against them. This is why the most reliable people in a group are often the least respected. They fix every problem. They absorb every mess. They cover every mistake. And yet, when decisions are made, their voice is quiet. When status is distributed, they receive nothing. Because power is not given to those who carry others. It's given to those others don't want to disappoint. Watch how this plays out in modern life. In the office, there's always one person who stays late to fix everyone's errors. They rewrite bad reports. They calm angry clients. They protect the team. Management calls them supportive. Never leadership material. Meanwhile, the person who lets small failures happen. Who doesn't rush to rescue. Who allows discomfort to be visible. That person is seen as higher status. Not nicer. But stronger. In relationships, the pattern is even clearer. The partner who constantly saves, explains, forgives, and adjusts. Slowly loses attraction. Not because they did something wrong. But because desire does not grow towards someone who removes all consequences. Romantic respect depends on tension. On the knowledge that access is not guaranteed. When you keep rescuing someone emotionally, financially, or socially, you teach them they can fall without cost. And people don't bond deeply to safety. They bond to challenge. Socially, this law decides who leads and who is ignored. The person who always answers messages instantly. Always shows up. Always helps. Always agrees. They feel dependable. But dependence is not dominance. The one who is slightly unavailable. Who doesn't rush to save the moment. Who lets silence exist. That person controls the frame. In business and money, the same rule applies. The entrepreneur who bails out partners. Covers losses. Absorbs risk alone. Ends up surrounded by people who gamble with his resources. But the one who lets others feel the weight of their decisions. Creates respect without raising their voice. This is happening every day. You felt it. You just didn't have language for it. Now understand what destroys power. Weak people save others to feel needed. They confuse usefulness with value. They jump in early. They over-explain. They overgive. They remove friction because friction makes them uncomfortable. Strong people tolerate discomfort. Especially other people's. They don't rush to fix emotions. They don't interrupt failure. They don't soften consequences that aren't theirs to carry. Another mistake is saving people publicly. correcting mistakes in front of others, defending someone before they defend themselves. This doesn't build loyalty. It builds quiet contempt. Because now the entire group sees the rescued person as protected, and the rescuer as responsible. Responsibility without authority is weakness. There's also the mistake of rescuing without being asked. This is the fastest way to lose status. Unrequested help is interpreted as judgment, as superiority, as intrusion. Even if your intention is pure, the perception is power loss. Now, the strategies that actually work are silent. The first pattern is delayed response. Not ignoring. Not disappearing. Just not rushing. When someone struggles, you let the struggle breathe. You observe. You wait. If they solve it, they gain confidence. If they fail, they learn. Either way, you keep your position intact. The second pattern is conditional support. You don't save outcomes. You offer perspective. You don't remove consequences. You remove confusion. This keeps you respected, not responsible. The third pattern is selective intervention. You help rarely, but precisely. When you step in only when it truly matters. Your involvement feels heavy, significant, valuable. Scarcity creates gravity. And finally, the warning. This law is dangerous in the wrong hands. If you use it to dominate the vulnerable, you become predictable. And predictable power collapses. This law is not about cruelty. It's about hierarchy. Respect grows where struggle is allowed. Power survives where rescue is rare. Remember this. People don't respect the one who saves them. They respect the one they don't want to disappoint.